Tomorrow, the cryptocurrency market is heading into a very major event. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what that event is, why it matters, and also explain why XRP is bouncing from one of the most critical levels on the chart and what that tells us about future price action. The XRP chart gave us a very strong confirmation earlier today, and in this video, I'll explain why that confirmation happened and where XRP is likely heading over the bigger picture. Your support truly means a lot. As always, thank you so much. And a big thank you to everyone who liked the videos and subscribed to the channel. These two simple actions help more than you realize. So let's jump straight in, because I want to begin this video by talking about something extremely important that's happening tomorrow. Something that puts the entire crypto industry into a much bigger perspective. When it comes to crypto, traditional finance fought hard for a long time. They resisted, delayed, and pushed back at every opportunity. But the situation today is completely different from what it was even just a few years ago. No matter how loud the opposition was, it never really mattered. That's something I've always said. You could have been against the internet when it first launched. You could have shouted that it was unsafe, useless, or impossible to scale. None of that mattered because the technology itself was too powerful. The same principle applies to Bitcoin and blockchain. In the short term, it doesn't matter which regulators approve or disapprove. It doesn't matter who criticizes it or spreads negativity. It doesn't matter if someone tries to create a fake blockchain product that isn't real blockchain. None of that truly matters. Once a technology reaches escape velocity, it moves forward on its own. For every one person trying to stop it, there are 10 more ready to adopt it. Quickly, before we go any further, because many of you ask how to properly prepare for the next phase of this market, it's time to level up your approach. You need structure, mindset, and clear frameworks. That's exactly why I created the XRP Millionaire Blueprint. It's designed to help you think like a professional investor, understand long-term wealth creation, and manage volatility without fear. If you want full access, including advanced modules, deep dive frameworks, and my weekly XRP Insider reports, you can become a Millionaire Blueprint Pro member. Pro members get access to everything, including private reports that analyze institutional flows, major catalysts, and upcoming shifts before they become public. If you're serious about understanding this space, the links to both options are pinned in the comments below. Now, with that said, we're seeing this shift play out in real time. Vanguard was one of the loudest and most aggressive opponents of crypto. They openly stated that crypto would not be allowed on their platform. I told everyone this position would not last. As soon as that policy was announced, investors began moving their money elsewhere toward firms that supported digital assets. And now here we are. Tomorrow, Vanguard is officially reversing its stance and opening the door to crypto ETFs, effectively placing access to its $10 trillion in managed assets into the crypto market. Think about that for a moment. $10 trillion. The implications for the entire financial system are massive. Even if only a small fraction of that capital flows into Bitcoin, Ethereum, or eventually XRP, the impact is enormous. But the deeper meaning is even bigger. Crypto can no longer be stopped. Traditional finance can complain, delay, and resist, but the adoption curve keeps moving forward. If they fight it, they lose customers, relevance, and market share. Technology always wins in the end. And this shift at Vanguard directly connects to the XRP conversation. We continue to hear voices from within the Bitcoin community claiming that institutions will always rely on Bitcoin alone, that nothing needs to evolve, and that upgrades are unnecessary. But history proves that no technology ever stays static. Look at the internet. Early leaders dominated at first, but innovation changed everything. Early investors still profited, but the ecosystem expanded far beyond its original form. Bitcoin won't be the only solution either. Some still believe the global banking system can run on slow, expensive, outdated infrastructure forever. They want you to believe high fees, slow settlement, and inefficiency are unavoidable. But XRP was built specifically for high-volume financial infrastructure and institutional-grade payments. It's designed for what banks and global markets actually need. Ultimately, the market decides which technology wins. And when it comes to regulatory clarity, institutional readiness, and real-world utility, XRP is uniquely positioned People can criticize it, mock it, or dismiss it, but markets always choose efficiency. They always choose what works. XRP consistently checks the right boxes for real-world use. Elites can delay change, slow progress, and resist transformation, but they cannot stop it. We've seen this with the internet, smartphones, social media, and now blockchain. Too many people across the world rely on these systems for them to be shut down or controlled. Vanguard fought this shift and eventually surrendered. If they couldn't resist, no one else will either. The most important thing to understand is that XRP sits at the center of this transformation. Smart money doesn't argue on social media or chase hype. Smart money plays the long game. They invest quietly while others fight over charts and memes. Right now, the market looks calm on the surface, but behind the scenes, positioning is happening. We can see the coordination, the institutional conversations, and the strategic planning. Daily price fluctuations shake emotional traders, but fundamentals continue to strengthen. Something critical happened today, which is why we're analyzing the XRP chart. Major players don't chase tops or green candles. They want fear, uncertainty, and dips. They accumulate during moments that make retail investors panic. This has always been the case across all asset classes: Forex, stocks, commodities, and crypto. The mechanics never change. Despite all the noise and short-term volatility, XRP has not broken below its most important long-term support. Not even close. Every attempt below the $2 level has been aggressively bought. You can see it clearly on the chart. Long wicks, volume spikes, and strong absorption of selling pressure. This is exactly what long-term bottoms look like. Daily candles are irrelevant within a broad accumulation range. What matters are liquidity zones and higher time frame structure. Since early 2024, XRP has remained within the same broader range. Sentiment has shifted back and forth, but structure has remained intact. On the monthly chart, the picture is extremely strong. This isn't weakness. This isn't failure. This is consolidation after a breakout, a classic compression pattern. Like stretching a rubber band, the longer the consolidation, the stronger the eventual release. Long-term investors understand this phase well. Sideways price action feels endless. Fake-outs, shakeouts, bad news, doubt, sarcasm, and emotional swings test conviction. Then suddenly, the market moves and clarity returns. Those who survive these phases aren't the loudest voices. They understand fundamentals, adoption cycles, and long-term trends. Fundamentally, XRP is stronger today than at any point in its history. Everything that mattered in 2017, 2020, 2021, and early 2024 still matters. But now the infrastructure, regulatory clarity, institutional positioning, and global demand are significantly stronger. Instant settlement is more necessary than ever. Financial systems are being forced to modernize. Price movements don't define value. A 50% price drop doesn't mean a project lost 50% of its usefulness. Price fluctuates, utility builds slowly. Those who judge projects purely by price often exit right before major moves. We've seen this before. Sentiment collapses, patience runs out, and then the market reverses. This time, the shift is larger because participants are larger. Institutions, governments, and global organizations are positioning now. They don't care about short-term volatility. They care about being positioned before the global financial system changes. That's why the charts look confusing. Volatility is intentional. It's a tool. Real-world XRP utility doesn't change week to week. It builds quietly. Liquidity corridors expand. Adoption deepens. The system strengthens. Markets often suppress price before major adoption waves. That's accumulation. Zooming out reveals the truth. Infrastructure is being built, partnerships are forming, policy narratives are shifting, the financial system is evolving, price follows utility always. The quiet phase always comes before the explosion. This is not financial advice. But understand this: markets reward patience, positioning, and understanding cycles. XRP sits at the intersection of regulation, utility, and global finance. Cheap positioning windows do not last forever. Once value catches up to real-world use, markets move fast. That's why education matters now. That's why understanding how the top 1% think matters. If you want to learn those frameworks, the XRP Millionaire Blueprint and Millionaire Blueprint Pro are available through the pinned comment below.